My sister couldn't sell her co-op apartment for almost 5 years. I made a couple of videos now on the pros and cons of owning a co-op apartment. Now, obviously, there are way more pros than cons as far as I'm concerned. That's why I downsized from my house to a co-op apartment. But one of the downsides is that you're bound to a lot of rules, and there's a board that you have to pass, right? Including when you try to sell. And when my sister bought in the early to mid 2000s, she had owned it for a couple of years, and then she got married and she wanted to, with her husband, buy a house. So she bought a house and put her apartment on the market. And then the downturn happened in 2008, the real estate crash. And because the prices kept dropping, I think, let's say she bought for 150, right? And the prices were dropping to below 100,000. The co-op board would not allow her to sell. Every time she brought, well, first of all, there was very few buyers, and two, every time she brought a potential buyer, they would just turn them down, no reasons given, and they're allowed to do that. Co-ops are allowed to do that. They don't have to give you a reason as to why they're turning you down, right? So, I mean, it's good and it's bad, right? And the bad, obviously, if you're the seller. So it took until the prices came up, back up again to, let's say, 125, and then finally the building board relented and allowed her to sell to another person for 125 for a loss of 25,000. And by that time, she had held on to the apartment, an empty apartment, for 5 years. Her maintenance was about $500, $900 per month. So 5 years, she lost $50,000, $60,000 in maintenance costs alone, on top of the fact that she lost 25,000 on the sales price. Now, some people might be asking, oh, why didn't she just rent it out? Most of these buildings are meant to be owner occupied. That's why they're cheap, right? That's why the prices are relatively low. And that's one of the rules that keeps a building nice, right? When it's all owner occupied and very low turnover, right? You don't get a constant turnover of renters coming in. And you get owners who actually care about the apartment and who care to follow the rules, and that they keep quiet, they keep this, keep the apartment clean, etc. Because it's a co-op apartment, a cooperative apartment. You cooperate with other people, and it keeps it nice. Rules make for nice neighbors, just like fences make for nice neighbors. But thankfully, she was a gainfully employed pharmacist, and both retired in about 40, 41, because they're both frugal, like her older brother.